Hi, as we approach the Supreme Court decision on Obamacare, I think everybody is wondering whether Obamacare will pass or not. I am, of course, in favor of affordable health care for everyone in the country. It's a shame that we have one of the most developed countries in the world, and yet we cannot afford health care for all, that people can go bankrupt if they have a major illness or catastrophe or even an accident. So I support Obamacare, and I hope the Supreme Court does too. Having said that, I think most of the reform in health is not health reform, it's insurance reform. And of course, we need insurance reform as well. We are a sickness care society, a disease care society. And we are creating a population where 1 out of every 3 will be at the risk of diabetes, where the incidence of cancer is progressively increasing, and where cardiovascular illness is becoming a risk factor for almost everyone. So it's time to take health care in our own hands. And here are some of the new things that you should know about, which are common sense, okay? Spend your time wisely. There is sleep time, there's exercise time, there is focused work time, there is relationship time, there is play time and creative time, and there is mindful eating time. And of course, I may have mentioned sleep time and downtime. And if you give a little bit of attention to all these aspects of how you spend 24 hours, you'll have good health. And good health, of course, has to do a lot with relationships. It has to do with career well-being, of which I've spoken before, but I will speak again. Social well-being, both your social relationships, personal relationships, and your professional relationships. Physical well-being, which has to do with the amount of exercise you do, the quality of sleep you get, the kind of diet you have, and healthy emotions. And then there's community well-being. Are you engaged in your community? And finally, financial well-being. And these different aspects of well-being are all inseparable. If you're worried about your finances or unhappy in your career, it's going to affect your well-being. So I promise that through this YouTube channel and through my work at Gallup and the work we do at the Chopra Foundation and the Chopra Center, we will continue to give you information on these different aspects of well-being. Remember, the word healing, the word health, the word holy, and the word wholeness are the same word. Health is the return of the memory of wholeness, finding out who we really are, what we want in life, and what's the purpose of our existence. That's true healthcare, and that'll be true healthcare reform when we take our well-being in our own hands and engage together, helping each other in truly reforming the idea of well-being. In the meantime, I hope Obamacare passes. One last thing, 90% of all medical expenses are end-of-life expenses, where we prolong suffering instead of alleviating suffering. The end of life is not the prolongation of life, it's the prolongation of suffering. I, for one, want to die at home and not in a hospital with all kinds of life support machines keeping me in a vegetative state. Let's look at end of life and make it more compassionate, more healing, and more kind to everyone. Nobody benefits from the vast majority of heroic procedures that are done at the end of life. They create a lot of expense, a lot of suffering, and the only people who make out are not even the insurance companies, but the hospitals and the suppliers of technology, and pharmaceuticals. 80% of all that is unnecessary. That would also be true healthcare reform. To look at the expenditure, the wastage, the unnecessary procedures, and the unnecessary drugs and surgeries that we do, the drugs that we dispense so carelessly. End of life care should be about compassion, kindness, comfort, and peace.